Can I ask you to welcome the Right Honourable Theresa May?
Hello, and I'm sorry for interrupting you, and I'm sure you'll be able to pick up from where you have been, what you've been talking about when I leave, because sadly I have a very limited time to be with you this evening, but it's very good to have come in and heard those words about being a passionate advocate, which I think hopefully is setting the scene for everything that's being discussed tonight at this event, and I'm very pleased to be able to join you, albeit for a short period of time, at this event tonight. The government's priority is to get our economy back in shape, and that means dealing with the deficit, it means stimulating growth. And for me, giving women the opportunity to achieve their full potential must be at the heart of our approach to economic growth. It's been calculated that better use of women's skills could be worth £15 to £23 billion to our economy each year. And if women were setting up new businesses at the same rate as men, there would be 150,000 more companies in the UK. So, quite simply, I think we can no longer afford to go on missing out on the economic benefits that greater gender equality could bring. And we need to not only do more to help women who want to start out in their careers, who want to start their own businesses, but also do more to help women who aspire to achieve the very top. And as you probably know, speaking to this audience last year, only 12.5% of all FTSE 100 board members were women. And frankly, that's simply not good enough. And that's why organisations like the 30% Club are so important. For many years I've championed the cause of hard-working, talented women, and indeed when I was chairman of the Conservative Party we had the option of using all-women shortlists to increase the number of women MPs we had, but we decided not to take that route. We decided a different approach, focusing on reaching out to talented women who hadn't thought about entering politics before, encouraging them to come into politics, and then working with them, supporting them and mentoring them, giving advice and training to help them get through the process to become MPs. And the proportion of women MPs in the party has doubled as a result of that, although it's still low and we've still got some work to do. But my message is that achieving change in this way is hard work, and progress can be slower than anyone would like. And there are some quick fixes, there are some shortcuts. Quotas, of course, does offer, the route of quotas offers a quick fix or a shortcut to increase female representation. And of course, on the specific issue of women on board, some countries have chosen to go down the route of quotas, but others haven't, and they have still had real success. And I think the Australian example of the if not, why not model shows that you can achieve tremendous success without resorting to quotas. And I think that change has more of an impact and is more likely to be lasting if it comes from positive action rather than positive discrimination. I always used to say in politics that one of the things I thought was important was not just about increasing the numbers, but getting a change so that it was natural for women to come into politics and to be involved in politics, and it was no longer an issue. And I think that change can't be achieved simply by those quick fixes, because that lasting change only happens when women know what opportunities are available to them, when they have the skills and the training to take those opportunities on, when crucially, when businesses know the benefits of having more diverse boards, and then when the whole process is clear and transparent. And that's why we are making a number of policy changes that I think really will help women to get on in business. So our policy to extend the right to request flexible working to all employees will help shift attitudes and shift behaviour away from the traditional 9-to-5 model of work that can act as a barrier to many women and indeed to others, and that also doesn't make sense for many modern businesses. Our policy to introduce a new system of flexible parental leave will help all working women who want to have children, because for the first time it will allow both parents to choose what is right for them and what is right for their family. And I think women-friendly employment policies like that will make a real difference. But I also want policies that will specifically help women get into the boardroom. And that's why Vince Cable and I commissioned Lord Davis to look at how we can increase the number of women on company boards. And since his report in February of this year, we've made good progress in implementing his recommendations. In May, the Financial Reporting Council launched a consultation on changes to the UK Corporate Governance Code in order to help to achieve more diverse and more effective boards. The headhunting industry has agreed a voluntary code on diversity. And I think we are beginning to build a strong sense of ownership and action in FTSE 100 companies. We've agreed with them a plan for how company aspirational targets should be published by September, and I would urge all companies and organisations to meet that September deadline of outlining their own targets for female representation on their boards and management teams by 2013 and 2015. And the latest figures suggest that there has already been an improvement in FTSE 100 companies. Some 21% of new board members appointed since Lord Davis's report have been women, up from just 13% last year. And the number of male-only boards has dropped from 21 in October to 14. And I'm delighted that businesses and organisations like those represented here are taking such a lead role in making changes happen. And we want business to lead change in tackling the gender pay gap as well. So we have chosen not to use the powers taken by the previous government in the Equality Act to require companies to report on their gender pay gap, but we've been working with businesses and others in a collaborative and a cooperative way to develop a voluntary approach to reporting and improving transparency on pay and on wider issues around women's representation in the workforce. And we'll formally launch this approach later this year, and I hope that many 30% Club members will want to engage with us on it. Because I believe that giving women opportunities in business must be business-led. I think that's when we're going to get the best results. It isn't about government simply imposing decisions. You need to take the initiative and you need to drive change and grasp this agenda. And our most forward-thinking businesses are already grasping this agenda, and they're doing that because they know it makes good business sense to do so. Inclusive and diverse boards benefit from the fresh perspectives, new ideas and broad experience that successful women can bring. A board that better reflects its customers is more able to understand its customers' needs. And there's growing evidence that companies with more women on their boards do indeed outperform their male-dominated rivals. I have to say no wonder. But this is not equality for equality's sake. It is about making your company better. A diverse group of people is going to make, I believe, better decisions than a group of people who all have the same experience and bring the same perspectives and the same thinking to their decision making. So as I say, this isn't just about equalities for equality's sake. What it is about improving business. It's about making your companies better. And I know that people in this room know all that. I know that, as I've just heard, there are people who are putting that into practice. But together, I believe we must spread the message to every company in the country. More women in your top team can help your business be the best. That makes sense. It makes sense for women, it makes sense for businesses, and it makes sense for our economy as well. Thank you very much.